Hello and welcome to After the Headlines. I'm Sarza. Today I'm going to talk about something very frustrating, not because it's shocking, but because it's very familiar. Recently, a statement suggested that police would question teenagers if they're found outside at night unnecessarily. Teenagers in public space to be questioned by the police. Now, some people applauded this. They see decisiveness, order, discipline, and that reaction is exactly what concerns me. Because this is not about safety. This is about a deeper logic of crass, feel-good, old-school governance. Political theorist Murray Edelman, writing in the 1960s, argued that much of politics is symbolic. Governments perform visible acts, not necessarily to transform structures, but to signal control. The goal is reassurance, to show that something is being done, even if nothing structural is changing. This can be called helicopter politics. Highly visible gestures, heavy words, top-down enforcement. It feels decisive. It earns a pat on the back, but it rarely touches upon root cause. Questioning teenagers at night is not structural reform. It is a symptom management at best, dressed as strength. Ask, why are people outside at night? Are there enough youth spaces, enough meaningful engagement, enough opportunities for the youth to make them feel invested in this country? Are we simply seeing a generation that feels disconnected from a system that does not represent them? When governance treats presence as suspicion, it sends a signal. You are not citizens. You are potential problems. Here's the thing, we cannot question our way into trust. We cannot police our way into belonging. And we certainly cannot beat a generation into submission and expect them to feel ownership. Modern states rest on a social contract. Citizens contribute because they feel ownership. Ownership cannot be manufactured through fear tactics. It grows when institutions treat people with dignity. If young people do not feel that the country belongs to them, then why should they invest in it? Why stay in Bangladesh? Why contribute? We already see youth migration rising across the region. And let's not forget July, please. July was led by young people. Young people mobilized, organized, shaped discourse. They were not passive recipients of authority. They were political actors. There is something deeply contradictory about celebrating youth agency when it aligns with power and scrutinizing youth presence when it doesn't. That double standard is visible. And young people are not naive. George Orwell warned about societies where surveillance becomes normalized. Foucault described the panopticon where people internalize discipline because they know that they might be washed. When simply being outside at night invites questioning, the message is clear. Visibility equals suspicion. Fear may create compliance, but compliance is not commitment. Commitment comes from trust. And there is also a class issue over here. I'm not going to get into that. Bangladesh, we know, suffers from politics of ambivalence. We speak about Fourth Industrial Revolution. We speak about AI literacy. We speak about modernization. And yet, governance reflexes still default to top-down, crass, feel-good control. That contradiction cannot be hidden. You cannot build digital futures while governing with colonial instincts. Real reform requires root cause analysis. Ask, why is there disengagement? Why is there distrust? Why alienation? Those are harder questions than announcing enforcement. So here's some final thought. Governance is not about monitoring bodies. People are not bodies. It is about building ownership. It is not about optics. It is about building legitimacy. The real question is very simple. Are Bangladeshis citizens in their own country, or are they captives that require management? The answer to that question will determine whether the next generation of Bangladeshis build this country or leave it. I'm Sarza, and this is After the Headlines. If this episode made you think differently, engage with it, share it, or stay in the conversation. Until next time.